Welcome back. Now, the American Red Cross not only helps people in Illinois and in the United States, but its reach does go much farther.
We want to have you meet a Red Cross volunteer who applied the skills he learned here in Chicago in helping refugees struggling to survive the war in Ukraine.
I believe strongly in the values of service and the values of humanity, and the Red Cross has always represented that to me.
Jeff Paddock also believes in turning compassion into action, and this year he brought that belief to war-torn Eastern Europe to help Ukrainians who left their homes, possessions, and money behind as they fled to nearby nations. He was the tech lead for a team that provided financial assistance to refugees in the form of debit cards.
Financial assistance, providing funds to refugees so that they can, eat or buy a winter jacket for their child, etc. A bus ticket to get where they were going.
The war was escalating. The need was urgent, but setting up a system was highly technical and not easy.
You have to essentially set up a mini banking system. So that is, storing data, that is, handling funds and getting it to people on the move who don't have a lot of resources and may not speak the local languages. Those are very complex systems to stand up out of nowhere, and so it was my job to advise the Red Cross national societies in those countries how to do that to the best of their ability. And I was one of a big team trying to make that happen.
Jeff says the refugees he met are resilient and strong, and there are people he will never forget.
I talked to one cardiologist from South Ukraine who was now doing laundry in Poland to make sure she could provide for her family and her children. And that told me that no matter what, they were going to find a way to get by, and that we were there to just make that process as easy as we could.
And the process will continue.
The conflict has changed, which means the needs have changed. There's going to be a lot of cold months ahead. I'm still very much attached to what's going on, having calls with Europe frequently, and will likely be back since we anticipate more difficulties over the winter.
Helping people face difficulties brought Jeff to the Red Cross and will keep him there.
I just want to help. It's the best way to carry out my values. I will be here for a long time.
And joining us now, the person you just saw in that piece, a real hero, Jeff Paddock. How challenging has that effort been for you?
Oh, it was certainly a challenge. In one way, I recognized everything. The mission of the Red Cross is the same all around the world, to relieve human suffering. However, the context when I was in Hungary and Poland and Slovakia was very different. So it was challenging to get to know the new situation and do the best I could for the families coming across the border.
You mentioned you were first there in April and then we're back in October. How did you see issues in the region change, for the better, for the worse?
Different ways. I would say the biggest concern that has changed since is the weather. It's getting cold. Right. That means there's a different set of needs in the winter months ahead, whereas in the April time frame, it was all much more chaotic and just about basic needs.
And the Red Cross helps with that?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Would you say that this experience has changed you in any way?
Massively. Hard to tell in all the ways, but I'd say I have a much more global perspective and appreciation for the Red Cross. Every country in the world has a Red Cross office and national society. I knew that. I didn't really feel it until I was a part of this.
Jeff, we thank you for all you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you. And what an example you set for all of us.
Yes, a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.